Welcome back to AEC Today Reports. In this episode, we're so excited. We're going to be talking to you about why it's so important for you to vote come November. We're going to talk to our married couples about how you can use this quarantine time to strengthen your marriage. We're also going to hear from one of our churches in the Baltimore area about their community service efforts and hear from the Bay Area about a special revival they have going on right now. Stay tuned for this and a little bit more on AEC Today Reports.
The Bible tells us in 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14, "If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land." If there were ever a time that we needed to come together in prayer, it is now. Therefore, our president, Elder Henry Fordham, is calling on you to join us as we band together in prayer. Pray corporately with us every day at 12 p.m., and in addition, 3 times a day. We believe that God will honor the faithfulness of His people as we band together in prayer. Please pray with us and watch God move.
Welcome back to AEC Today Reports. We're happy you stayed with us. We have right now a very special guest with us that is none other than Jackson Michael Doggett Jr. Esquire. Did I say it all right?
Yes, you did.
I try to get a little roll there. And he serves as our Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Director at Allegheny East Conference. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you.
Awesome. So, we know that we're dealing with this coronavirus and this crisis that has struck the world right now, but we're also in the midst of a presidential election this year coming up. And I don't think we should lose sight of that. Of course, we know as a denomination or a religious organization, we do not promote a particular candidate. However, we do promote something very important. And what is that, Elder Doggett? What do we promote?
We promote everybody who is eligible to register to vote and to vote.
Amen. So tell us, why is it so important? I mean, some people still really don't get or don't feel that their votes matter. Can you share why that's actually not the case?
Well, just before I do that, I will answer your question, but from the religious liberty perspective, this is the most wonderful time to make disciples, to spread the message. We're on the very border of the promised land. And what has happened with this coronavirus has shown us that the last movements of Earth's history can happen very rapidly. So I don't want us to miss that.
That's so true.
We're on the border, and all that we have learned, we can actually see coming to pass. Now to your question, it's vital to vote because Jesus did say, "Occupy until I come." So we do not know the day nor the hour. So we have to occupy. And by voting, we are actually putting people in office who are having a profound effect on every area of our life. And I've heard many Adventists and Christians say that, well, if I put somebody in office and they do something wrong, I'm responsible. No, you're not. What you're responsible to do is to get as much information as you can, make the best decision that you can, and participate in the process. Because if you don't participate, you really have nothing to complain about. You could have done something and you didn't. So you shouldn't even talk. But I don't want to get there. I'm assuming everybody is going to go to the Allegheny East website.
Right.
On that website, on the Pearl page, you can get information about your state, how to register, get information about the various candidates. It's all there on our page. And if you're concerned that Ellen White said don't vote, we even have quotes from her to the contrary right there on our page.
All right, so we're taking away the excuses about not knowing. We have all the information, as I said, on our website, on the Pearl page. You can just go right there, click on it, and see everything. We have it by state. You have it by state, too. So every state that's represented with Allegheny East, there's information there. Now, I know there are a lot of people who agree with you, who are on board for promoting voting, people to register to vote. If there are individuals who would like to help people do that, I don't really know. I know with this whole coronavirus situation, voting may look a little differently this year. But if people want to help with promoting voter registration, what should they do?
Well, the first thing, they must participate themselves first.
Okay.
The second thing is to persuade or influence your sphere of influence, those around you, to get involved in the process. You don't have to be a crusader and get the world involved. Get the people around you involved. And I've had conversations with people who tell me I'm not going to vote because my vote doesn't count. Well, it doesn't count if you don't cast it. That's for sure. And in this voter suppression age, we have to go climb over great barriers to vote. So it's not going to be convenient, but it shows you how important it is when people are trying to stop you from exercising your vote.
That's absolutely true. And, a lot of people, who voted previously, and maybe their particular candidate did not get into office. Some of them are discouraged by that and don't even know if they want to vote. How is that mindset kind of false in terms of what we're trying to accomplish through the voting process?
In Major League Baseball, the highest paid baseball players only get a hit 3 out of 10 times. The very highest paid get a hit only 3 out of, that's a 70% failure rate, yet they're the top people who end up in the Hall of Fame. You're not going to win every time, but you have to participate or you really don't have anything to complain about.
Absolutely. I love that analogy. That's so perfect. So I hope everyone who's listening is getting the idea. You have to vote. It should not even be an option. And we have the information available on our site for you to know exactly what you need to do. If you have any questions beyond that, Elder Doggett is there to take those questions. His contact information is on the website. We have no more excuses, guys. Let's get out there, register to vote, and vote so that our voices can be counted. Thank you so much. Now, before we go, we see something there behind you, Retaining the Harvest. Would you like to share with us what that's about back there?
That's a book I wrote to try to help churches to establish a system of continuous church growth. We want to make disciples. And during this coronavirus, I'm telling you, people are wide open to your witness. This book helps you to systematize as a church how you can keep growth going and retain those that we baptize, because most of the people we baptize eventually leave. Here's a system that will help build relationships that will glue them into the mission and message of the Lord. So that's why I wrote the book. I pray people will go get it and use it.
Amen. How can they get the book?
They can go to my website, jacksondoggett.com. And it's right there on the website, as well as I'm willing to come to churches and help you establish it. So just contact me right there, jacksondoggett.com. We'll get together.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for that information and giving us perspective of why voting is so important. We appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
And we hope that you'll stay with us. We're going to take a brief break and we'll be right back with AEC Today Reports. Thank you for staying tuned to AEC Today Reports. Now we're going to talk about something for all you couples out there. And we have a special guest joining us. This is Lorraine Watkins. Hi, Miss Lorraine.
Hi, Tasha. How you doing?
Great. Miss Lorraine Watkins comes to us from the Mount Olivet Church in Camden, New Jersey. She is the Relationship Ministries leader there, as well as several other hats, I'm sure. So today, Ms. Lorraine, we want to talk about couples. We've talked about kind of the negative side. We talked about domestic violence that can happen during this time. But now we're going to take it to the other side, where couples can actually use this time for the good. But first, let's kind of put things in perspective. We know this could either make or break couples. There can either be negative impacts of being together for this extended amount of time or positive impacts. Just point out some of what the negative things can be and what some of the positive things can be.
Well, one of the negative things that I would say is that sometimes we got to be careful what we pray for
Mm.
because couples through the years said we wish if we had more time together. And wow, here we are, COVID-19, and we weren't prepared. Couples weren't
Exactly.
prepared for this. And so, what's basically happening, couples are not used to being together this many hours in their own house together.
Right.
Okay. No matter how large or no matter how small your house or apartment or wherever you live, you're not used to being with this person 24/7. And
Right.
you can only go to the grocery store, but so much. And so one of the negative effects that I see is that, you really don't know this person
Wow.
that I do to many years ago. And what actually is happening is that it's taken some time, it's taken a toll on individuals. And one of the negative effects, I speak to a couple of ladies that I know, and they said one of the issues is going to the refrigerator.
Uh-oh.
Someone is paying attention, either the husband or the wife is paying attention, how many times you keep going to the refrigerator. You're not used
Oh, you got a monitor now. Uh-oh.
but it's a negative but a positive. And the enemy would like to put a lot of things in our minds, and this is just a strengthening time for couples at this particular time.
You're right. I like that. Granted, you like you said, we're realizing things maybe about our spouse that we never paid attention to because we were busy working and in and out of the house, and now we're literally not necessarily staring at them for 24/7, but they're somewhere around for an extended amount of time. However, this could also be an opportunity for couples to work on strengthening their marriages because they have more time together. Share some ways that couples can do that, be more intentional about building the marriage up during this time.
Well, during this time, you know, couples can actually strengthen their marriages. They have more time where they're not rushed. That actually together can spend more time doing devotion and also having prayer,
Yeah.
just for you and your spouse, not the children, not the parents, not anyone else. Just taking more time to actually, just spend more time with the Lord as a couple,
Okay.
where all of the outside sources are behind you. And in addition to that, you can actually start finding out some of the things that your spouse really like. We've been spending time kind of finding out, because we're a stay-at-home couple anyway. We've been
Uh-huh.
stay-at-home couple for many years, but everyone don't have that luxury. So even though we're a stay-at-home couple, I suggest to couples to actually start finding out what are your spouse really like. What are some of the things? Name the top 5 things that they like. Maybe on a date night, you can have a date night at home,
Hmm.
and just have that going on. And also finding out, what type of games that you can actually play together.
That's
And
fun. Yeah.
just a little fun thing. And also, as far as strengthening the marriage, just kind of knowing what the future holds. We talk about,
Mm.
life insurance, wills. With either the husband or the wife probably prepared it many years ago, or maybe you haven't prepared it. This is a time now, because this is a positive time, because you having that time together is to kind of
Mm.
sit down and kind of look over what you have in your policy, where it's at. If you haven't created a will, maybe do that, and just kind of create a life sketch for
I
you
like
and
that.
your spouse. Do that. And then you kind of come back and review it. So these are some positive things that can happen, because we've said we were going to do it at one
Right.
point. And no, honey, you go ahead and take care of it. Now I want to see it. We both can sit down and see it, while we're still well, we're healthy, we're in the right state of mind, possibly. And those are just some of the things that you might not get a chance to do all of the
Right.
times, but the time to really kind of hone into those type of things, because it only affects you and your spouse, not anyone else.
I love that. That's a great a great idea. I like the thought of planning. You know, sometimes you get caught up in life and you lose track of where you guys want to go together, whether it's as a family, whether it's financially, whether it's, as you said, preparing for, retirement and things of that nature. So this is a great time to kind of sit down and really look at things. And maybe you want to, reevaluate some of the choices you made. I mean, we're hearing now by everyone getting the stimulus check. This is a great time for the family, couples to sit down and talk about, what do we want to do with this? Are we going to pay off a bill? Are we going to invest? Are we going to save? So this really, you're right. This gives us an opportunity to do some life planning as a couple. That's a great, great suggestion.
And also, Tasha, individuals maybe at some point or another in their lifetime, they've thought about maybe starting a business,
Mm,
maybe starting a business and just never knew how or what to do. So this is time that each person can get an assignment, as
okay.
far as, who's going to look up, maybe just get a name of the business. What are we going to have the business to do? Maybe the wife is a great cook, or someone can bake, like your girls. And we could start, things can actually start happening during this time. I'm convinced that you should not come out of COVID-19 the same way that we came into COVID-19.
Amen. I agree.
Every couple, every household should have a COVID-19 positive story. What I've done, what we've done together, as a couple coming out of COVID-19, because others are going to need these stories. And of course, they're going to be negative stories, but we're going to always close out with positive things. And I'm convinced that there's more positives that can come out of this once we're intentional. And that's what it's all about, being intentional about what we're going to do moving forward.
That's
And we can
right.
come up with a lot of things what we haven't done right, but God has blessed us, and I want to call it, because this could be a blessing or a curse,
All
but I'm
right.
going to just say God has blessed us that we have this time together so that we can clean up what we didn't like that have happened in our relationship prior to COVID-19, because I firmly believe that COVID-19 have allowed us to actually just kind of do some self-reflection
Yes.
on yourself and also as a couple, in addition to what's taking place today.
Absolutely. I totally agree. So it's really up to us as couples what we're going to do with this time that we've been given. And as I mentioned earlier, you are the relationship ministries leader at your church. And I know you have a wonderful team there at Mount Olivet. Share some of the activities you guys are doing with families and couples during this time when you're not able to come together as you normally do.
During this tough time that we're in right now,
Mhm.
it's all about relationships. And our
Yeah.
goal is to build and strengthen our relationship, not just in the church, but outside of the community. So a lot of our couples, we go out as well into the community. We do this monthly, and we serve the community
Mm.
and with
Very
hot
important.
meals. So we partner with other organizations in the community, and we do that one Sabbath out of the month, where we actually leaving the building between 11 and we come back at 1. And we partner with two other organizations where we taking the hot meals, we taking toiletry bags, and
Nice.
all of those type of things. And these are couples that are doing a lot of the things there at Mount Olivet. But then we have our singles ministry, which is
Okay.
up and running. And this coming at the end of the month, we're going to have a Zoom, and it's going to be a chat and chew with our
Okay.
singles. And
Nice.
that's with singles, anyone that's not married, that's
Right.
divorced, widows, widowers, engaged, all of those individuals. And then next
Great.
week, before the end of the month, we having our men's ministry is going to be having Man Up,
Okay.
and Man
I
Up,
like that.
for the young men, the older men, to just get together and do something positive, just to kind of strengthen the men as far as during this time. And then we have grief ministry. That's also part of this particular ministry, Tasha. And
Hmm.
today, I think we're going to need it more than ever
Oh,
before.
yes. It's
Not just with couples, but families and children, and the list just goes on and on. So relationship ministry, it wasn't just a cliche all along, but now with this COVID-19, it really gives us an opportunity to really do some things to actually strengthen. And what we've done, we've taken our church family and split it up among our members as part of relationship ministry. and each of us have a certain amount of individuals to contact, make sure they're okay,
Oh,
make
that's
sure they're
wonderful.
plugged in, and let them know if anything that they need, that we are assigned to that particular person. So we have a lot going on, and
You
even
really
though,
do,
yeah,
but it's awesome. I mean, I think relationship ministries is really the foundation of Christ ministry. He was all about
yeah,
building relationships with individuals and showing that he truly cared about where they were in their lives at that time. And so that seems like that's what's happening at Mount Olivet. And so all of you who are watching, be mindful of that in your own churches and in your own experience to build those relationships with people and really check to see how they're doing, particularly during this time. We thank you so much, Miss Lorraine. You shared so much with us. Couples, we know what we need to do to strengthen our marriages, and even other entities within the church. We also got some ideas of ways that we can build ourselves up during this time. Thank you so much for sharing.
thank you, Tasha.
All right, and please stay with us. We're going to take a brief break and we'll be right back.
The Children and Youth Ministries gladly offers Prayer Connection Mondays, currently accepting the names of your children and youth on our Facebook page. Starts at 9 a.m. in the morning till 1 p.m. We take the time to give a prayer thought and we call out all the names, laying them before God's throne. Please join us weekly at 1 p.m. and let's connect our children and youth through prayer.
Thank you for staying tuned to AEC Today Reports. We're happy that you are with us, and we're also happy to have some special guests joining us from our Liberty Church. We have the pastor, Dr. Mark McClary, and we also have the ACS leader, Mrs. Margaret Holman. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, well, first of all, we know that Liberty has always been a church that's been involved in the community, but obviously with the impact of COVID-19, we've had to change the way we do things. But just share with us what you guys are still able to do as a church, even in this crisis.
Well, as pastoral lead, glad and peacock proud to be able to respond to your questions. We just joining the other illustrious witnesses, wherever they may be, whether it's in Beam, Baltimore Extended Area Ministerium, or in the other 5 chapters. And I'm going to let Sister Holman do a lot of the talking. We're located at, we're Liberty Seventh-day Adventist Church, located at 3301 Milford Mill Road, Windsor Mill, Maryland, 21244. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty.
I love it.
Our vision, mission, and objectives is what we're going to speak to today. And Sister Holman is probably the best person, she's the point person to speak on behalf of Liberty, what we've been doing and what we're doing, especially during C-19.
Thank you so much. All right, Ms. Holman, tell us, what's Liberty been up to?
Where should I begin? Liberty has been in the community for over like 30 years. But with the present time now, the way it is, we are more involved.
Okay.
We've had the food pantry, like I said, for many a year. And our regular date that we have has always been the 3rd Tuesday, but it has escalated now. So rather than just the 3rd Tuesday of every month, we open up every Sunday morning to serve the community. And we serve them with food. We partner with Maryland Food Bank, and they've increased, and so we can increase as well. And so we go there once or twice a week. And then also we have a bread program as well that we share. The bread program we share with the churches in this area. So we have been picking up bread from Pepperidge Farm for years. And so with the Pepperidge Farm, you know what Pepperidge Farm is. So with the Pepperidge Farm bread, we share with Edmondson, we share with Berea, we share with a senior nursing home.
Awesome.
Senior high rise, it's not a nursing home, it's a senior living. And also with, with Berea, Edmondson, Sharon, and then with the nursing home. So the program has expanded, and we not only wait for Sunday morning or we wait for the 3rd Tuesday. If people call the pastor or any of our members and they refer them to us, we're glad to go to the church and share the food with
Awesome.
them.
Okay,
And
so
our
you guys,
program, mhm,
I
go
was
ahead.
just clarifying. So in addition to just being available every Sunday and on the third was it
Tuesday.
third
Tuesday.
Tuesday, you if somebody calls with a need that's
Yeah.
not on one of those days, you all still are
Right.
able to serve.
We do. We
Yes,
do.
ma'am.
Awesome.
That we do. And the thing is, our program has expanded so that the board voted that we have an extra building attached. Well, it was an old building attached to our church that was used for junk. So it was cleared out, and our head deacon, Brother Norbert Lewis, built it as a community service place, a building.
Oh
So,
wow, awesome.
so we have the shelving and we have everything in the refrigerator, freezer. It's nice. And since it's at the rear of the church, I dubbed it our she shed.
I
So
love it.
Sister Holman, Sister
yes,
Holman, without prolonging it, just make a statement about the late Sister Webster.
Webster.
Yeah.
Uh, Sister Webster and community service at Allegheny East as well. They know Sister Webster very well. She began that program years ago in the 80s. And
Wow.
she was the one that started this program, and it went very well. And with the food program, she was the one that got the program with us with the Maryland Food Bank.
Okay.
So that's why I said we've been doing this for years, but it has expanded now because of the present conditions. But Sister Webster carried this program on, and she led well until about 2 years ago when we lost her.
Wow.
So the program has started with her,
Okay.
and so I've worked with her from the beginning
All
with
right. And
her.
you've taken over the reins and made sure that it
Taking
continued.
over the reins and hope I'm doing what the Lord asks us to do, and that's to feed the people.
You got your pastor's approval, so I think you are. Now, can you guys share with us why is it so important? I mean, you like you said, you're taking up the reins, you're continuing in this. Why is it so important for you all, Liberty, to be involved in your community?
Well, we have a vision statement, mission statement, objectives, and I don't want to get into a seminar, but our vision statement is how we want to be seen, how we see ourselves, and our vision statement from memory is to be known as loving Christian believers who care in meaningful ways for God, self, and others. So we're just finding a practical way that serves not only in-house but those who are in the community, and everybody eats.
That's
Right now.
Come along, but people still got to eat, Share is able to partner with us, and they've been doing it for a while, and I mean, folk come far, no strings attached,
right.
and we've been able to provide that particular service.
That's awesome. And how many people would you say on an average week you're able to assist?
At an opening, like maybe on Sunday morning it's down to about maybe 70 or 80 people, but on our regular Tuesday, and during the month we serve over 200 people.
Awesome.
So we're in a cul-de-sac, and sometimes it's hard for people to know that we're there. But when they find out our lines are increasing,
Word spreads.
now we open up on the third Tuesday from 1 to 3. People are there putting their bags in line or standing in line at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
So by the time that we open up at 1 o'clock, we have a line around the building.
Mercy.
So it's going far and wide. And on Sunday mornings, we open up 10 to 12, but we have people there at 9 o'clock.
Awesome.
So
Wow.
they're in line the cars, and but we're adhering also to the mandate of being
Okay.
careful with our masks and our gloves and the spacing. And so we do that. We've asked the people to stay in their cars, and we give them numbers so that there will be no crowding. And it's working very well with us. And we have able people working with us, the men that work on the truck that unload the truck for us, and then the ladies that help set up and serve the people. So
That's
it's a
great.
combined effort.
Awesome. We really applaud Liberty for what you're doing. You're modeling for all of our churches how we should, as you said, your mission statement, you're living up to your mission statement. It's not in word only, but in deed.
Mhm.
And so we appreciate what you guys are doing at Liberty in the Baltimore area. And we just pray that you'll continue to be able to do so. And we thank you for sharing this. We hope that other churches who are watching it, who want to start some type of food pantry or food distribution, to
Mhm.
be inspired by what they're hearing. It's possible, right? It can be
Right,
done.
it's
Oh, yeah,
possible.
no
It
question.
can be done
No question.
if you have a pastor like Pastor McCleary.
Oh, well.
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm running for pastor of Liberty, and I've already got. But I would say this. I don't want to prolong your interview, but I would say this, and I'm sure we're not peculiar with it. We're not
Right.
paralyzed. We improvise,
Okay.
and
Mhm.
so
Like that.
we just adapt, and we just got to come a certain way. We respect the civil authorities as long as it doesn't conflict with God's law.
True.
We doing what we doing, and we just want to hear God say to us, "Well done,
All right.
good and
Amen.
faithful."
Great. Thank you so much. Like I said, we appreciate what you're doing. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for representing
Don't forget-
AEC very
Don't
well.
forget your man,
And thank you.
lemon. All right.
Oh, you got it
All
ready.
right.
All
Take
right.
Good
care.
talking with you. It's good seeing you.
Likewise. You
Take
too.
care,
You
hon.
too.
Have a great day.
You
Yeah,
too.
you too. Bye-bye.
And we ask that all of you watching will stay tuned for a brief break. Hello, Allegheny East Conference family and friends. We understand that during this time, as much as we want to provide hope and encouragement for all of you, some of you are experiencing loss, or you have individuals who have been impacted by this virus and are currently in pain or discomfort. We want to pray for those individuals. So we ask that you go to our website, hit the prayer tab, and give us the opportunity to pray for and with you. We believe that God is still in the healing business and He will work miracles on your behalf. So please, please let us pray with you. All right, we thank you for staying tuned to AEC Today Reports. We have someone very special with us right now, Pastor Melvin Hayden III. We like to call him Pastor Trey. He's with us representing the Bay Area today. You guys have something special that you're doing, and I love the name of it, Revival for Survival. Is that,
Yes.
did I get it correctly? Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us, first of all, how the name came about, because I love it, and then the purpose of this particular revival.
Okay. Well, the name of it actually came to us by my dad. We had a ministerial meeting and we were discussing the possibilities of having a revival. And so when the theme topic came up, I don't know where he came up with it, but he just said, "How about this?" And immediately it just kind of, just stuck to us. And we just like, that works, because right now, if we ever needed to know what the essential things are necessary to survive in these challenging times, we definitely need something like this.
Awesome. And I think it's very catchy and, as you said, very necessary during this time. So talk to us about some of the speakers we can expect to hear from during this revival.
All right. Well, we're starting out actually also with Pastor Melvin Hayden Jr., my father, and then and that is going to be April the 17th, our opening night, which is this coming Friday night, and it's 7:00 as we kick it off. And then it's just for both weekends, and then Tuesday and Wednesday in between. So we got Friday night, Saturday night, we've got Felix and Paro. Sunday night, I don't have the flyer in front of me, right?
It's okay, we'll put it up. But it's pretty much all the pastors from the Bay Area, right?
We got eight of us lined up. I know Defoe's on. I know Fenelon is on. Jimmy Ferguson's on. Gibson is on. I'm on also. Those are several of the names of the preachers that'll be preaching.
Okay, and if people want to join and tune in, what's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, I put the Zoom link on the flyer, and also folks can call in. We're going to get all that contact information out there, but it will be a Zoom meeting, a virtual meeting, and each church is also not just representing with a pastor, and that particular pastor is going to invite a singer to do special music before he preaches, but also every night we'll have a host pastor from a different church who's going to lead us in the service and also lead everyone in a prayer of healing and hope for these times. There's a special feature as well, just since it's on top of my mind, if you don't mind me sharing.
Go ahead.
Sure. We're bringing a doctor in that's going to do a quick segment called Ask the Doctor. And that's Dr. Josette Palmer, a member of my church in Glassboro, SDA in New Jersey. And so for 5 minutes, she's just going to answer different questions that people may have about their health and what they can do to protect themselves, their families, and the best way to keep themselves safe and healthy during this time of pandemic.
Awesome. That's great. So it really is a revival for survival. And I'm glad to, what I love about it is, even though this is Bay Area putting on, because it's virtual, people from all over Allegheny East and beyond have the opportunity to tune in and hear the wonderful messages and even the information that the doctor will provide. So this is an awesome opportunity.
Thank you. And we really wanted this revival to be around the same time as the peak of this pandemic comes through America, that there would be voices of hope, there would be prayers going up, and there would also be a uniting of our churches. And initially I was going to do something at my local church, and then I had discussed it with Jimmy Ferguson, our area leader. And then we just started getting excited together. We said, how about we do something together? And we say, how about the whole Bay Area? And so from the 17th, this coming Friday, all the way to, sorry, I had a call coming through, all the way into the 26th, that final Sunday. It'll only be in the evenings. So 2 Sabbaths will not cover the morning, just the evening, 7 o'clock, from just 1 hour, from 7 to 8. We want to invite anybody everywhere to log in, get a powerful message of hope, get inspirational music, get some facts, some health tips from our doctor, and just feel blessed and safe during this time of crisis.
Amen. And we applaud the Bay Area for what they're doing. And we'll have the information for everyone to tune in on our website and our Facebook page. But thank you for sharing what the Bay Area is doing. We're definitely tuning in. Take care. Give our regards to everyone.
Bye, everyone. Hope to see you.
Yeah.
Love it, everybody. Check out our spring revival.
Love it. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you right after this short break. That wraps it up for us on this episode of AEC Today Reports. We appreciate you joining us. We'd like to give a special thanks to our guests for what they had to share today. We hope you'll continue to join us every Tuesday and Thursday. I'll be here in my living room. You'll be where you are, but we will be together. Because after all, the more you watch, the more you know. We'll see you next time.